archipelago in Southeast Asia. Each island in the Philippines offers rich heritage, diverse natural resources, unique quality products, and a nation full of warm and hard-working people. Sustainable and resilient infrastructure is crucial for the country to share all these locally and globally. Forging paths and connecting people are essential to boost economic growth and build a better future. With its natural beauty, historical sites, and vibrant culture, the southern part of Luzon continues to be a favorite destination by local and foreign tourists alike. Key provinces such as Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, and Quezon are already accessible from Manila via the South Luzon Expressway or SLEX. To further ease the flow of traffic to the area, SMC Infrastructure has started the construction of the SLEX Toll Road 4 or TR4, an extension of the SLEX that aims to connect Batangas all the way to Quezon, with stops through areas like San Pablo, Laguna, and Sariaya, Quezon. The TR4 is expected to cut travel time from Santo Tomas to Lucena by more than half, from 4 hours to approximately 1 hour. This vital infrastructure aims to not only reduce time on the road, but also lift regional development, tourism, and the local economy. The starting point of the TR4 is in Santo Tomas, Batangas, often considered the gateway to Batangas from Manila. The city is known for its rich historical and cultural heritage. Aside from being the hometown of General Miguel Malvar, thousands travel to the city to visit the National Shrine of Saint Padre Pio. Several first-class relics of the Italian saint, who is known for his stigmata and gift of healing, can be found here. The 11-hectare faith destination is also distinctive for its open-air and nature-inspired architecture.
Filipinos are really devoted Catholics. Talagang ganun na lamang yung kanilang pagpaparangal, pagpapahalaga sa pananampalataya. Mayaman, mahirap, bata, matanda, pamilya, magkasintahan o kung sino pa man, sila ay pumupunta dito. All for the same motive. They want prayers. They want healing. Na talagang humihiling ng kagalingan na kahit sa panahon ng problema, sa panahon ng kanilang pinagdaraanan, they see our faith as their only source of hope. Doon sila kumakapit upang matanggap nila yung kagalingang hinahanap ng kanilang katawan. Spiritual, emotional healing, dahil dito natatanggap at nakukuha nila yung kapayapaang hinahanap ng kanilang mga puso. Si Saint Padre Pio po, he is known for his miracle stories. Napakaraming taong lumalapit sa kanya. The stigmata is the wounds of Jesus Christ. Yung ibang pong mga santo, meron silang stigmata na merong isa sa mga sugat ng ating Panginoon. But then, Saint Padre Pio has all the 5 wounds of Christ. At sa kanyang pagiging pari, siya ipinipilahan dahil sa kanyang mga spiritual direction just to attend to the needs of the people. Dito po sa pambansang Damban, of course, we have the main church. Ito lang naman talaga ang meron noon hanggang sa ito'y unti-unti nang lumaki at dumami. Nandito rin ang Divine Mercy Sanctuary for Pilgrims where we cater thousands of pilgrims every week, every month. May Sanctuary of the Relics where we house 20 relics of Saint Padre Pio. We also have the Chapel of Reconciliation where we cater pilgrims who are in need of spiritual direction and confession. We have the Holy Water Sanctuary. We have the Fountain of Hope. We have stores to cater to the spiritual needs of the people kung saan sila makakabili rin ng mga souvenirs na inuuwi nila from this shrine. every Saturday we have healing masses. At kapag ganitong mga araw, sa maghapon, no, we cater around 20,000 pilgrims. At kapag mga Sabado at Linggo, mga 10,000, no, most likely mga ganun pong number. Surprisingly, the National Shrine caters pilgrim from around the world. Hindi na lamang mga taga Batangas, hindi na lamang mga nanggaling sa mga karatig bayan o mga karatig probinsya. We also cater international pilgrims. So, minsan may mga nagmimisa din from Korea, from Hong Kong, from around the world. Talagang dinadayo, no, ito pong pambansang dambana. Right now, the people from Santo Tomas really benefited from the raising up of the status of the parish of St. Padre Pio to now a national shrine. No? Napakarami ng mga establishments na nakapaligid dito. Mga kainan, no? Bilihan ng mga pasalubong at iba't ibang mga negosyo. Itong faith tourism talagang nagbigay din ng trabaho para sa atin po mga kapatid dito po sa lungsod ng Santo Tomas. So napakaraming mga nagsulputang establishmento na kung saan nabigyan ng trabaho ang mga ito. At even here, the National Shrine, we have several employees na talagang nakatulong para sa kabuhayan din nila.
Malaking tulong po sa amin, sa aking pamilya yan. Kasi po, diyan po kinukuha lahat ng aking pagkain ng mga bata, pambaho, saka nakakatulong din po ko sa mga kapatid ko, mga pamangkin ko.
From being a national shrine, the Padre Pio Church is working on being the second international shrine in the country. More tourists are then expected to visit the pilgrimage site. With the ongoing SLEX TR4 project, access to the church and other destinations in the city will be easier from both ends, giving faith tourism and local businesses a boost. Laguna is another key destination in South Luzon. From Santo Tomas, Batangas, the province of Laguna is about 20 kilometers away. When the TR4 starts its operations, travel time from Santo Tomas, Batangas to San Pablo, Laguna will be even shorter. The SLEX TR4 will have two exits within the province, Macbang and the city of the Seven Lakes, San Pablo. The Seven Lakes of San Pablo are 7 volcanic crater lakes scattered around the city. They were formed out of the shallow lava from Mount San Cristobal, and each of the lakes have become popular tourist spots around the area.
Kilala po talaga ang San Pablo na may 7 lawa. Natutuwa kami dahil sabi nila, ang San Pablo lang po sa buong mundo ang may 7 lawa. So imagine nyo na pagpunta nyo sa San Pablo, makakakita na kayo ng 7 lakes. At dito po, sa aking likuran, ang pinakamalaking lawa among the 7. Meron kaming Sampaloc Lake, Punot Lake, Calibato Lake, Yambo and Pandin Lake kasi twin lake sila, Palakpaking Lake, and Mohicap Lake. Yung Mohicap, Pandin, and Yambo, doon naman na-discover na malaki ang potential niya for tourism. Pwede kayong kumain habang nasa balsa, tapos na-enjoy nyo yung bamboo raft ride. Tapos ang maganda doon, kung ano yung sinuserve nila na tilapia, yun din yung na-harvest nila doon sa lake. Meron silang bagong attraction, yung diving. And sa Mohicap naman, may kayaking. Makikita nyo, may nagbabike, may nag-jogging, walking, picture-taking, exercise. Marami na rin nagtitinda. Every morning and afternoon, maraming tao dito dahil ine-enjoy nila yung view and yung fresh air, plus yung masasarap na pagkain around the lake. Ang peak season dito during summer and yung cold season. Ayun yung September, October, November, December. And pagka-summer naman, yung Holy Week, marami rin pumupunta dito.
On top of being an ecotourism destination, these freshwater lakes also serve as a source of livelihood for the community. At Sampaloc Lake, a tilapia aquaculture industry is thriving.
Pagka namasyal kayo sa Pitong Lawa, mas maraming fish cages dun sa 4 compared sa 3. Ito yung Sampaloc Lake, Calibato, Palakpakin, and Bunot. Kasi maganda yung na-harvest nilang tilapia dun sa 4 lakes na yun. And hindi lang naman tilapia ang nakukuha o nahuhuli dito sa 7 lakes namin. Meron kaming local fish. Itong bakule, ayungin. Yan yung mga sinaunang mga isda na nakukuha dito sa Lawa.
Ating pong ginaganap ngayon ang Tilapia Festival.
So today, meron kaming 700 kilos na iihaw at ibibigay yon ng libre sa mga narito. 18 years na namin itong ginagawa. Actually, ito yung idea talaga ng mga fisher folks dito. Bakit hindi natin i-push na mas i-promote ang tilapia? Kasi naiisip namin na may 7 lakes nga kami pero parang hindi naman kami nakikilala sa tilapia. Gusto naman namin itry na itong kung ano yung nakukuha namin sa 7 lakes ang maipromote naman.
Sa amin, bilang mangingisda, kailangan namin mapanatiling malinis yung mga lawa. Kasi iyan yung pangunahing pinagkukunan namin ng aming hanap buhay. Kung magiging madumi yung mga lawa, magiging pangit din naman sa paningin ng mga turista na dumarayo dito sa amin.
Sobrang malaking benepisyo ang mabibigay ng TR4 dito sa lungsod ng San Pablo dahil mas marami makakapunta, mas short na yung trip and hopefully mas malesen yung traffic.
Travel time from Batangas to Laguna is expected to shorten greatly thanks to the SLEX TR4. With improved access, helping both the tourism and economic sectors of San Pablo. This makes the town a must-visit destination where nature, culture, and local enterprise converge. From Batangas to Laguna, the SLEX TR4 ends at the province of Quezon. Several exit and entry points are expected here, namely Chaong, Candelaria, Sariaya, and Tayabas. This gives travelers more opportunities to explore this part of the region, dubbed as the Land of Thousand Colors. This moniker is derived from the province's mix of natural beauty, culture, and history. The municipality of Dolores, Quezon is less than an hour away from Chaong and Candelaria. It is where the mystical Mount Banahaw is located. Many visit this mountain volcano as it is believed to be a place of healing and spiritual power.
Ang Dolores, Quezon po ay isang simpleng bayan. Ito po ay nabibilang noon bilang isang 4th-class municipality. Subalit sa bisa po ng isang kautusan, at nito lang pong nakaraang taon, ang aming pong bayan ay naging na pong 3rd-class municipality. Naturally, ang aming pong bayan ay agriculture in nature. Almost 80% po ng aming bayan ay amin pong napapakinabangan sa agrikultura. Ang isa po naming ipinagmamalaki sa aming bayan ay ang aming turismo. Ito rin po yung nagiging source ng aming kabuhayan at pagkakakitaan po ng aming mga kababayan. Kahit po nung mga nakalipas na panahon, ang lagi pong dinadayo sa aming bayan ay ang Mount Banahaw. Ang aming pong bayan ay dinadayo ng iba't ibang deboto, ng mga pilgrims, dahil po sa banal na bundok. Sa mga panahon po ngayon, ang isa po sa nagigi pong pinupuntahan po, unang-una po sa aming bayan, ay ito pong aming Our Lady of Sorrows National Shrine. Napakarami po ng deboto ang nagpupunta po dito sa ating bayan taon-taon, lalo't higit po pag dumarating po ang Semana Santa. Ipinagdiriwang po ng aming bayan, ang bayan ng Dolores, ang ika-190th founding anniversary po. Dito po nakapaloob yung aming pong festival na kung tinatawag po natin ay Hambuhan Festival.
Inspired by the sacred ritual which uses the healing waters of Mount Banahaw, an annual event called Hambuhan Festival is something tourists can also look forward to when traveling to the municipality. Symbolizing friendship, unity, and faith, festivities includes vibrant street dancing, religious processions, ritual competition, and community gatherings.
Isa po sa kilalang lugar noon ang Sitio Hambo. By practice, dito po dumadayo ang ilan nating mga deboto. Doon po sila naliligo, nagpapabasbas, at doon po yung tinatawag nilang ritual ng paghahambo. Yun po yung pagbabasbas, ayun po yung ating ginagawa sa tuwing festival po natin. Ito naman po ginagawa nating paghahambo sa pamamagitan po ngayon ng tinatawag nating tukil. Yun po ay sumisimbolo po sa pagtanggap natin sa ating mga bisita at ganun din po ang pag-aalok ng pagkakaibigan at pagkakaisa sa bawat dumadayo po sa ating bayan.
An ideal tourist destination is not complete without a culinary experience. A must-try local delicacy in Quezon is Binayong Hipon, a native dish made of pounded shrimp.
Ngayon po ay ipapakita namin kung paano po namin ginagawa ang aming Binayong Hipon. Una po ay kapag mainit na yung ating kawali, lagyan natin ito ng mantika. Igigisa po natin itong bawang. Ito po ang ating isusunod, mga 4 kilos of gata ng niyog. Ngayon naman po, kunin natin ang ating binayong hipon at ilagay na po natin. Ayan po natin siyang mag-spread at lumubog sa ating gata. Natin pong halu-haluin. Medyo may katagalan lang ito, kasi hahayaan natin siyang yung gata niya mag-evaporate. So maiiwan lang talaga sa kanya is yung mantika. Lagay natin yung ating konting sugar, ground black pepper, ito yung kalamyas. Ito po yung magbibigay ng additional na lasa sa ating binayong hipon. And then, ang ating suka. Kailangan po kasi dito, tuloy-tuloy lang yung halo natin. Kasi once na nakalimutan nating halu-haluin, mapapansin natin yung ilalim niya. Parang yung sabi nga nung iba, nagtututong. Medyo kumakapit na sa ilalim. So gradually, hinahalo-halo po natin ito. In about 1.5 hour, lulutuin natin ito. And after 1.5 hour, so makikita natin yung finished product nito. Makikita natin na yung gata niya is nag-evaporate na. So yung coconut oil na lang together with the binayong hipon yung matitira dito after 1.5 hour. After 1.5 hour, ito na po ang itsura ng ating ginataang binayong hipon. Okay na to. At medyo palalamig-lamigin lang po natin bago po natin ito ilagay sa ating mga garapon. Mayroon tayong mga kaibigan na nagdadala sa Manila, sa Laguna. Asyan po, may mga pumupunta dito kapag sila ay bumibisita or sumisimba sa Our Lady of Sorrows National Shrine. Dumadaan sila dito at sinachat po nila ako, Sir, Tutoy, dadaan ako dyan kukuha ko ng 10 piraso at dadalhin ko sa Batangas. Ganun po, halos lahat ng mga dumadaan dito sa amin. Maganda po yung epekto dito sa produkto ko, yung mga ginagawa nating infrastructure. By means of that, mas madali sila makakapunta kung gusto nilang bumisita dito. Kasi kung manggagaling pa sila sa malalayong lugar, so easy na yung papunta dito kasi dire-diretso na, iwas sila ng traffic. Malaki talaga yung magiging impact nung ginagawa nating mga infrastructure malapit dito sa aming bayan. Ang pangarap naman natin, tayong mga nagsisimula sa mga negosyong ganito, mas marami pa ang makatikim, nang sa ganun ay yung produktong binayong hipon ay mas lalong makilala, hindi lang dito sa bayan ng Dolores, kundi sa iba't ibang karatig bayan natin or even sa buong Pilipinas.
traveling from Manila to Quezon Province via Batangas can take about 4 hours. But with the SLEX TR4 project aiming to connect the vibrant provinces of Laguna, Batangas, and Quezon into one road network, Southern Luzon is poised to welcome more tourists and travelers. This milestone project of SMC infrastructure is expected to benefit not just these 3 provinces, but Metro Manila as well, as it brings travel to Southern Luzon closer and easier. For a country divided by more than 7,000 islands, forging paths via access through efficient gateways, extensive toll road networks, and comprehensive expressways are key in nation building. These strengthen connectivity of people within the islands and across the globe. The Philippines finds a partner in SMC infrastructure in making all these a reality that aims to create more opportunities for all Filipinos.